When you start to become consciously aware, all of your problems in life starts to just evaporate, because they're all built on you holding on, not being aware, but instead choosing to be unconscious in your life. And for many of you out there who are finding this video today, you're not even aware of the fact that you have been conscious, or you're not even aware of the fact how at pretty much every single point in your life, you're continuing to choose unconsciousness over being aware of the truth of what is actually happening in this moment that you're in right now. So in a lot of the previous videos here, I talked about changing your energy. I talked about how to change your energy so that all of the things that are as a reflection of your energy, which is your personality, the habits that you have and so on, that when you change your energy, all of that just changes. But here's the beautiful thing. You don't have to put any pressure on yourself to change your energy. Your energy is always changing. The core of who you are is always changing. And this is something that very few people actually stumble upon in their lives, because we're always in resistance to the change that is always trying to take place internally within us. And as a result, also later on be reflected in all of the things that's going on around us. Because we're trying to live life through the brain. We're always caught up in some thoughts about how to do the next thing. Something that can be very hard to understand is exactly how we are blocking ourselves at all times from tapping into the flow of the universe. Because it is so natural, it is so simple, and every single video that I'm making here on this channel is actually kind of, I wouldn't say useless, but the most profound realization that you can have is what all of these videos are pointing to, which is just that of simple awareness. Because when you drop the programs, when you drop the thoughts, when you move into your original state, which is that of awareness, you realize that this brain is not who I am. These emotions going on internally within me is not who I am. The stories that I have about myself is not who I am. And all of those things, the stories, the beliefs, the things that are of a challenging nature in our lives, is just waiting to fall away at all times, just waiting to evaporate and to disappear. Because the only reason that they keep on existing is because we keep identifying with the mind. We keep identifying with the programs. We keep thinking that that is who we are. But the more that we can trust and just fall back into simple awareness, the thing that the mind cannot understand, because the mind doesn't work or is able to perceive exactly how things fall into your favor as you're just allowing yourself to be as you are. And that is because the mind is conditioned to oppose it. The mind is something that is, by its design, meant to protect you. And in a lot of cases, this mind wants to protect you from these emotions, these stories and these beliefs by creating something that we're attached to, that we're living our life through unconsciously, because it keeps us separated from the realization of who it is that we are, from the truth of what this universe actually is, the depth of who we are, the understanding that we are a part of all things, that we also grow and evolve and move on to magical things in life when we allow the universe to take us there, because we are fundamentally the universe. But we as the universe are becoming, as we are this human, aware of the mind. We're becoming aware of this can of Coca-Cola. We're becoming aware of this microphone. But this brain is so easily accessible. It is so in our awareness, so deeply in our awareness, that it's easy to get fooled into believing that this is me. But you're as much this microphone as you are those thoughts. Those thoughts are not you. You're just very acutely aware of them. It's like someone that is smoking cigarettes their entire life, and then they stop smoking, but the cigarette package is always right here. There's always a cigarette just levitating right in front of their mouth. And at any time they can, if they want to, except that they're not aware of that it's there. The mind is not who you are, and you're resorting to the mind as an addiction. to stay disconnected from the body and your emotions, from the flow of the universe, which is going through your heart and through the beingness of who it is that you are. All of the things that I teach on this channel is to take you closer to letting go, to surrender, into just awareness. Now the thing is that doing that is not something that the mind has any say in how it's done. So as long as you rely on the mind, as long as you continue to identify with the mind and try to fix something, do something, get somewhere, then you're always in opposition to the universe trying to flow through you, through your emotional state. And you're never tapping into all the things that the universe has in store for you, because you keep rejecting it. Because in order for a new and amazing opportunities to come into your life, you need to make room for it. Because you're always getting a reflection in this life of who it is that you are. So while you're clinging onto a program, to a thought pattern, while you identify with the mind and you keep trying to do things in a certain way, you're always rejecting the energy that is trying to be released through your conscious awareness. It's always trying to make itself up into your awareness again, because you're currently not even aware of the fact that it exists anymore, because we grow unconscious to it over time as we choose to live more through the programs. But once you stop using the programs, you move back into conscious awareness, then slowly it starts moving up into your awareness again. And when you let go of that energy, as you're moving through it and experiencing it as it was always meant to be, you move back into your powerful state again, where this energy is integrated into your being, you raise your vibration, and better things can start moving into your life. As a result of you not clinging on to that thought pattern anymore, or clinging on to the idea that I have to do everything by myself, or whatever it is that is currently blocking certain situations, certain people to come into your life that the universe is always planning to do, to just move into your life. Because it's impossible while you're holding on tightly to these things that is keeping you from this full realization of who it is that you are beyond the programs, beyond the character that you've been your entire life. Because you're not the character, you're not your name, you're not this personality, you're simply aware of these things. But when you identify with it and cling onto it tightly, then that only means that you have some experiences in your past where you didn't want to experience certain uncomfortable things within your being anymore. And you created a mechanism or a matrix to live your life through, as to bury all of those things. All of those things just wants to move up into your awareness again as soon as you allow it. And the funny thing is that there's no right or wrong in this world, there's only conscious awareness. It's just a shift in the allowance from going from trying to be reactive into just being. It's funny that a lot of the times when I am finding myself being reactive myself, and then I start having some thoughts on like how to fix this or do something, but then I'm like, drop the thought, and then I just immediately move into just sitting in awareness, and I'm like, it just hits me how funny it is that everything that I'm searching for is just in this simple awareness right here. Because as you sit in the awareness, you're tapping back into your emotional state again. And being in awareness can be done in multiple ways also. It doesn't just mean that you're sitting still. In a lot of times, I'll find myself just scrolling something, or I have done a lot in the past, and then the way to connect back into my energy again is to just go and make the fucking dishes, to just go clean the house a little bit, because I'm sitting here procrastinating and having thoughts and this little mental clog of just sitting and doing nothing, because that is continuously keeping me a little bit occupied, and I don't feel like doing anything. But then as soon as I go and do that thing that I really don't feel like, and I just surrender to the doing of that thing, then I'll slowly just realize, oh, I was in that space because I was trying to keep myself occupied in some way as to be disconnected. So connecting back to the flow of the universe, the flow to the essence of who you are, and sometimes means that you go and do something. You go and work on that business perhaps. You go and work on something that you've been pushing off because you were afraid. Because this thing is going to tap you back into experiencing what it is that you're experiencing again. In some cases, it's the other way around. You're doing something to stay disconnected. And then you just need to sit in awareness, you know? There's no right or wrong here is what I'm trying to say. There's no right or wrong in this world. There's only your conscious awareness, or you're aware of what's going on in this moment. The more that you can tap into that, the more that all of the problems that you have in your life is going to start to disappear. Because you're going to once again tap into the flow of the energy that is inside of you, and not in the rejection of it, where things kind of remains the same and you're stuck in the same cycle. Because you are choosing to remain in this cycle because you don't want to move through the energy. The energy is always trying to move through you, but you keep suppressing it. Oh my god, it started to move up into awareness. Okay, let's go back to this addiction. Let's start sitting here and do this all day. Let's think about these things. Let's chase the relationship. Let's keep myself really occupied about thinking how I can be of service to these people, or whatever it is. Whatever it is, you are always suppressing. When you stop trying to do fucking anything, everything starts to happen. Because you start moving through the energy. And you, the personality part of you, starts to change. Because that was only ever a reflection of the energy. But it's all about becoming aware. And allow yourself to be aware. To not be reactive anymore. To go down into the awareness. And it's simpler than you could ever imagine. It's so simple that we always get it wrong. The mind always get it wrong because the mind has nothing to do with it. And as long as you think that you are the mind, instead of this, then you're going to continue to go wrong. Because the mind cannot connect you back to what it is that you seek. It can only continue to keep you disconnected from what it is that you're always running from. That's the purpose of the brain. To protect you. It's not meant to take you to fulfillment or back into the wholeness and completeness of who it is that you are. It's supposed to keep you separate from that. Through trying to be a perfectionist or achieving success or having this thing work out or prove myself through this, whatever it is. It's always trying to protect you from the wholeness and completeness of who you are. And in order to connect back into the wholeness and completeness of who you are, you just need to realize that I am whole and complete exactly as I am. It doesn't feel like it because I have a story attached to this emotion that is always here trying to make itself out, but I'm not allowing it because I have this story. Oh, the story, no, I'm not good enough. No, I'm not supposed to feel this. But when you realize that there's no story and that you're not the emotion and that mine is not you fucking either, and you just allow things, it moves into your awareness. You start trying maybe. And then peace. It happened. And you didn't have to do a thing. It just happened. And trying to do a thing this entire time stopped it from happening. If you want to understand this deeper, I'm going to talk about this on my live stream on this next Sunday. It's for Inner Circle members, so make sure to check it out. I'll leave a link below. And I also have my courses there, which teaches a lot about how to move into this state of surrender, into this state of acceptance, how to discover your intuition and hear your heart and connecting deeply back to who it is that you really are. So check it out, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.